Okay, so we're back. I got knocked in the head and my hair clip broke, so. Okay, so anyway, back to equations. So again, simple, I can't even talk. We're simplifying and then we are solving this simple equations. Okay, so like I had said before, when you are adding and subtracting, you use the opposite. So if the equation says on one side, my phone is now ringing. Okay, I'm gonna try the pause feature and see if that works. Hold on. Okay, did that work? It did. Oh, now we have a different visitor. Okay, so I forgot what I was talking about. Oh yes, so when we were talking about moving things, doing things, undoing things, when we have, if we had a -2, x minus 2 equals 12. To get rid of that 2, to get x by itself, we have to move everything that's around it. The only thing around that x right now is the -2, the -2. In order to move that 2, we have to use the opposite of that 2. So the opposite of -2 is +2. +2. Whatever you do to one side, you do to the other. +2. Put your line there. This cancels. X comes down. X equals 14. Okay, so those are very, very simple, like starter equations. So we're gonna do a couple more that are a little different, just so you get used to working both sides of an equation. Okay, so let's do a 4, and this is also to learn how to undo multiplication and division. So 4x plus 3 equals 21 minus 6. Okay, so 4x plus 3 equals 21 minus 6. We have to get everything to all the other stuff to one side, get the x by itself. In order for x to be by itself, what do we have to get rid of first? Here's the x on this side, so all the other stuff around it's got to move to the other side of the equal sign. Okay, so plus 3 is we're gonna do the opposite, which is -3. Whatever we do, sorry, forgot a step. Combine all of our like terms. 21 minus 6 is 15. So let's do that. So 21 minus 6 equals 15. So we rewrite 4x plus 3 equals 15. Okay, so we combined all the like terms that we can possibly combine at this point. Okay, so now we're gonna do that opposite. -3, whatever we do to one side, we do to the other, because the opposite of +3 is -3. Whatever you do to one side, do to the other. You're gonna hear me say that 5 zillion times this year. Okay, so these cancel each other out, because +3, -3 is nothing there. So we bring down what we have left. We have 4x equals 12. Okay, so now we still have a 4 stuck to that x. X has to be completely by itself. Okay, so in order to get rid of 4x means 4 times x. It's that multiplication. You're not going to see that raised dot that much. You're going to see more parentheses or just next to each other. Anything right next to each other, you're going to multiply. Okay, so 4x equals 12. What is the opposite of multiplication? Division. So you're going to divide this by 4. Whatever you do to one side, do to the other. Divide it by 4. The 4's cancel each other out, leaving x by itself. 12 divided by 4, you can simplify to 3/1, which is 3. X equals 3. Okay, so remember that invisible 1 is reappearing, because technically when you are multiplying here and we're canceling out that 4 to get x by itself, we're leaving a 1. So you're really going to end up with 1x equals 3. Okay, Bella. Okay, so and then when we simplified over here, we ended up with 3/1. There's that 1 again. So we're going to just leave it as 3. X equals 3. Okay, so keep in mind when I told you about
Okay.
Sorry. When I told you about on Friday when we were talking about improper fractions, keep in mind that this is what I was talking about. Okay, so if you end up with x equals and let's say it was 12 over 7, you would leave it as x equals 12 over 7. You do not divide the 7 into 12 and come up with a mixed number. You leave improper fractions. And that's why you're really just simplifying. You're simplifying old school cross cancel, things like that. Remember how you're just going to simplify or reduce. It used to be called reduce as well. So simplify, leave it at what you got. 3 over 1 is just 3. If you left it as 3 over 1, I'm not going to mark you wrong. Okay? So I'm going to demonstrate, and please feel free to rewind as needed so you understand. And then while I'm saying that, also you are more than welcome to pop onto Khan Academy, KHAN Academy, and when you pop on there, you can search their videos. They have hundreds and hundreds of videos on equations, algebraic expressions. So you might want to, if what I'm telling you isn't enough, if I'm not giving you enough information in this video, then you are more than welcome to pursue other means of understanding through Khan Academy. Okay? Okay, so let me do division 1. Okay, so let's say we've got 2/3 x equals 6 plus 2. Okay, first thing we're going to do, combine any like terms, simplify, reduce, do whatever we have to do at the beginning to get what we need, okay, to get it down to simplest terms. So 2/3 x equals 6 plus 2 is 8. 2/3 x equals 8. So now we run into the division situation, right? Because 2 over 3 is division. It's a fraction, but it's dividing. That's what we're doing. Okay, so in order to undo division, you have to multiply. When you're multiplying to get rid of a fraction, you're going to do the opposite. The opposite of 2/3, you're going to multiply it by 3 over 2. Okay? Reasoning being that if you do the cross canceling, 3 goes into 3 once, 3 goes into 3 once, 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 2 once. So you're going to end up with 1x. Okay? So again, the reciprocal is what you multiply a fraction by. You flip out the fraction upside down, which is called the reciprocal, and then multiply. And basically you're just going to cross cancel everything out of there. But whatever you do to one side, you do to the other. So we multiplied by 2/3 here. So now we got to pop over the other side and multiply 8 times 3 over 2, sorry. So 2/3 was multiplied by 3 over 2. Whatever you do to one side, you do to the other. 8 times 3 over 2. And it's multiplication now because we used multiplication to undo the division. Okay. So visually speaking, because I know a lot of us are visual learners, you can throw that 8 over 1 just so you can see how you can cross cancel, simplify, reduce. So 8 and 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 8 4 times. That leaves the 1s on the bottom. 1 times 1 is 1. 4 times 3 is 12. So we have 12 over 1, which equals 12. So x equals 12. Okay, so again, 2/3 x equals 6 plus 2. We combined, simplified, made that 6 plus 2 and 8. 2/3 x equals 8. We got rid of that 2/3 by multiplying by the reciprocal, which is flipping that fraction upside down to 3 over 2. Canceled each other out. That leaves x by itself. It left us with x equals 8 times 3 over 2. We reduced, cross-canceled, and ended up with 4 times 3, which is 12. 12 over 1, or 12, so x equals 12. Okay? And again, gosh, I've got a hair in my eyeball. Because of time restraints, I'm only going to show you one example of each of these. And again, please be welcome to jump on Khan Academy or rewind this video and watch it over and over as needed. Okay? So combine, let's go over our rules again. That we have combine those like terms. Simplify. Do whatever you can to make your life easier as you're solving. Okay. Get x by itself. Move all those stuff to one side. Get x, leave it by itself. Get rid of it however you have to. If it's addition, subtract. If it's subtraction, add. If it's multiplication, divide. If it's division, multiply by the reciprocal. Okay? Whatever you do to one side, do to the other. And then solve. Okay. That is our lesson on equations. So I'm going to upload your homework. It is called, or your classwork / homework. It is called AB 147 and 148. It starts with number 4 and ends with number 17, which is a little weird. Let me explain. Page 1 is 4 through 18. Page 2 of AB 147, so there's going to be AB 147 1, AB 147 2. Page 2 is number 19, and then it has another section, which will then take you to 17. So all of the problems on AB 147 1, AB 147 2. Okay, so that is what's starting you off. And then we are going, I'm at 11 minutes, 25 seconds here, so I am going to jump ahead. Well, not really jumping ahead because I've already introduced you to positives and negatives, but I am going to add those in there, okay? Actually, I'm going to give you the basics of positives and negatives, and I'm going to throw some in some of the equations that I post for you to do. So what I'm going to do, instead of having just positives and just negative work, I'm going to give you the rules and then throw some of them into the equations. And then when I get back on Wednesday and or Thursday, we're going to jump full board into positives and negatives a little further. Okay, I've already set the groundwork, believe it or not. You've already been learning them without sitting down and learning them yet. Okay, so the basic rules of adding positives and negatives. Adding and subtracting positives and negatives. Okay, a positive plus a positive is always positive. A positive plus a negative could be positive or negative. You just don't know. It depends. Whichever one is bigger in number is going to be whatever sign that one has is the sign your answer is going to be. So if you have positive 2 plus and then negative 25, it's going to be a negative number. Okay? And then a negative plus a negative is always going to be negative. Okay? Okay. Multiplying. Positive times a positive is always positive. Always, always, always. Positive times a negative, always negative. Negative times a negative is positive. Okay? Don't forget that. And then division. Positive divided by a positive is always positive. Positive divided by a negative or negative divided by a positive is always negative. And then a negative divided by a negative is always positive. Okay? So it's really the ones that just you have to kind of just know the rules on is the division and multiplication. So memorize these. And then the addition and subtraction, this is your little cheat sheet. And again, whatever captain I had assigned to post these, feel free to post them anywhere. These ones do have magnets on the back, except for this one, which I put on an old PowerPoint sheet because I wanted green. Does not have magnets, but I do have magnets all over the classroom. So you could, if you want to put them somewhere where it's magnetized, feel free. Okay, so these should be posted, and these are under the Elmo as well. Okay, so I'm almost at 15 minutes again. So I'm going to have you work on the AB 147 and AB 148. And then I'm also going to throw in more challenging equations for you to work on, which are the ones that you want to kind of try, practice, work on, but you know, they don't have to be done when I get back. AB 147, AB 148 does need to be completed when I come back on Wednesday. AB, it's a review of equations is what it's called. So the review of equations sheet is extensive. I want you to take a look at it and work out some of them, you know, kind of rough draft it and make sure we're understanding as we are going. Okay, you guys, I hope this makes sense. Again, if you have any questions, you can message me on Classroom underneath the comments. Hold on. So in comments, because once you comment, I get an alert and I'll be able to answer you as soon as I'm able to. All right, you guys, take care. Bye.